Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Quiet Storm with Mr. Q. Listen, I've been a long time trying to get this thing to happening, man. Like seriously, it has been a brainchild of mine for probably like 6, 7 years. So, like real talk, I want to tell y'all why I came with Quiet Storm and why it is a staple for me. The first part of it is I used to listen to the Quiet Storm when I was a kid. Like I remember, riding back with my dad, my mom, back in the car. Like we would have the Quiet Storm with Smokey Robinson playing in the background, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, yo, like that was a thing for me. Like it was a part of life for me. So I really needed that to be like a part of what I am. So that's the main part of why I call it the Quiet Storm. Um, Also, I want to take a time out to acknowledge the fact that 2 years ago, I lost my great uncle Buck to COVID. So this show is dedicated to him. I just want to say, bless up, man. I love you. Blessing to the family. I know it's been a hard 2 years for everybody. So the pandemic has been a situation where we have been able to adjust and also figure out who we are as people. So um, with that being said, the Quiet Storm is a place where you can come in and just rap with everybody and just release anything that you have going on for the week. You know what I mean? Like it's hump day, but it's also wind down Wednesday. So every show that I'm calling right now is going to be wind down Wednesday. So you never know who you're going to get. You never know what you're going to hear. Um, so stay tuned. Um, First things first. Um, I'm introducing a segment called Vibe Killers. And it's because, everything that could happen can happen and will happen. So Vibe Killers is a situation where a person, place, thing can kill your vibe. So this week, my vibe killer is the Supreme Court, of course. um, they're taking away a bunch of rights, man, from people that need those rights, and especially women. I feel like we have been like just kind of like just turning a blind eye to a lot of shit that's going on in our politics right now. So I'm not gonna get too political, but I want to say that the SCOTUS is a vibe killer because they're a 6-3 majority right now, right? And they're not on the right side of the law right at this point, especially Uncle Thomas. You know what I mean? Um, I have to say that because one, he's already said that he's going to come off the rights that people have already been guaranteed. So I need everybody to understand that you have to vote in your local elections, you have to vote in your gubernatorial elections, but you also have to vote in 2024. So just make sure that you keep those things happening. And again, like real talk, man, we've really have to turn up, man. Like we had to turn out like we did before. But I know that everything isn't going to be the way we see it for right now. So like, there's a whole bunch going on. So with that being said, tonight's show is going to be special because I get to chop it up with one of my boys, man. Like, man, I know this dude, man. Since I've been in Baltimore, I've known him. So like, I feel like he has been a good friend, and he's one of those people that is like, man, like he's so many things. So like it's hard to kind of put him into a box. So I won't. So my man is a author. He's an artist. He's a father. He's a husband. He's all those good things. He's a great dude overall. Yo, my man, Mr. Dwayne Cooley High Jones. Man, please welcome him to the stage, ladies and gentlemen. And hey, brother, what's happening, man? What's going on with you? What's going on, Cap? So, listen, I know I was a little heavy in the beginning, so I'm gonna go ahead and dial it back a little bit. But I'm gonna say this, man, what is he doing, dude? Producer, thank you, sir, thank you. Fix it. Um, what I'm gonna say to you is, man, listen, I know that you do a lot of things, but I'm gonna let you tell the people what you do versus me telling them because like I can't do it any justice because I know you, but I don't, I don't want to, sell you short. You know what I mean?
Got you. Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on your platform, man. But yeah, for those who don't know, my name is Dwayne Cooley Jones. I'm an artist, and I hate to have all these slashes because everybody got the slash.
Go with the slashes, man. Go with the slashes. Slash it up. Slash it up.
But I'm a rapper slash songwriter slash producer that has turned into an author.
Yes.
So that's what I am. That.
Yes. Yes. So, like, I really want to get into a couple of things, man. Like, because as a person that loves music and loves art and loves being an artist and a writer myself, I think that we should probably talk about how you got into it. Let's talk about where you started because like everybody knows, like everybody that probably knows you knows your story, but I want to give them a different platform of it. So let's talk about that part. Let's talk about how you started in that part.
All right. So two parts of how I started. So how I fell in love with the pursuit to be an artist, or how I professionally started. Which one you want me to start
Let's
at?
start with the pursuit. Let's start with the pursuit.
Pursuit. Okay. So yeah, man. Since I was a kid, I would say maybe about 9 or 10 years old. I just took a liking to music. Probably like a lot of artists that's out there. The two most memorable, if I'm saying that right, tongue tied right now, but the 2 points that stand out in my life that kind of drew me into music was when I watched Motown 25 and
Mm.
Michael with his brothers, and we did the moonwalk for the first time.
Yes, yes.
That took me, you know, over the top. I was in love with music ever since then.
Mhm.
So that drew me into music. Now I can't remember which one comes first, but I know that had a big impact on my life, as well as when I went to the movies and I saw a movie called Crush Groove, and
Ah,
I
Chris Groovin. Come on, man. What?
yeah, yeah,
Come,
yeah.
come on,
I
fam.
watched Run DMC and that, the power that they had, and especially Run. You know what I'm saying?
Of course, of
That's
course.
like that. You know what I'm saying? So those two points were like very pivotal in my pursuit to music.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you mine because I think I'm a little younger than you, probably maybe by a couple of years.
Uh,
So like when I saw LL Cool J on stage, like he was doing "I'm Bad" and he had the gold chains hanging,
oh
like
yeah.
like I was like I'm hooked. I don't even care what this is. I don't know what this is, but I like it. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
all over hip hop. Now I am a R&B and jazz type dude, right? So when you tell me you're a rapper, like that kind of throws me off because you seem like more of an R&B dude to me. Like when I talk
Right.
to you, like
Right.
I feel like you're more of an R&B dude.
Yeah.
So when you come into the platform of trying to like combine those things, how do you build the bridge between the two, like between hip hop and R&B? How do you do
Well, today's music is a combination of it.
it? Mm,
Today, like back when I was doing it and doing it heavy, like full time, there
mm,
was a distinction between R&B and hip hop. And actually, if you went too far on the R&B side, you was considered as a sellout, or you making commercial songs, and it was kind of like forbidden, like a forbidden law. You
ooh,
know, wanted to keep it hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because hip hop had its own lane, and R&B had its own lane as well. So whenever people went from hip hop and kind of dwindled into the R&B lane, they were looked at a certain way. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So, that's how I was back, when I was grinding, trying to get a record deal, finally getting a record deal, and so on and so on, because
mhm,
I was doing like my most like the times when I was in that grind mode, trying to really get it outside of, being a kid, a little, kid, 12, 13, just rapping and stuff like. But when I got grown, it
mhm.
was like the Wu-Tang era, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Wu Mob Deep, Helter Skelter, you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
Boom. That's where I was at. That's the lane I was in. The real dark, grimy, boom bap hip hop. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So, but the crazy part was every time, like back in those days, like you would have to do a talent show to try to get seen. These
Exactly. That
yeah
part. That
these
part.
showcases. You pay the money, getting the showcases, and every time me and my group did it, we always lost to somebody singing Whitney Houston song or some shit like that.
Yo,
It was guaranteed the rapper would lose. If
exactly.
somebody anytime.
It was almost a sign up. It was almost a sign up. As soon as you say you was a rapper and you had a single on the back end of it, it's a wrap for you.
It's a rap. You might as well be looking at second place, especially if it's a girl and she can sing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. She got pipes. It's a rap. It's a rap.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, it was always that battle between hip hop and rap. But now, fast forward into today, when I listen to music, it's all infused as one. The rappers are more singing and it's more melodic. You don't really get too many lyrical rappers that's pushed out to the mainstream as before. Like when I listen to whatever I'm listening to, I'm hearing a lot of melodic music. I don't even know if it's rap. I mean, not to diss or, sound like I'm dissing anything, or frowning.
I can't listen to any of the regular shit right now anyway. So I the R&B and my jazz, and I'm good. That's why it's called A Quiet Storm anyway, because I can't listen to the regular shit that's happening right now. But
yeah. So it's all in one. It's one big pile of gumbo right now.
Yeah. So here's my question to you, like, because like judging back from the era that you came up in, like you say that it was different, it was separated. Like now it's all like this pot of gumbo, like you said. How do you differentiate yourself from everybody else if you're considering yourself a rap artist at this point, or even an R&B artist? How do you consider yourself different from everybody else? How do you do that?
I have no idea. Because when I listen to hip hop, the rap these days, well, the rap that they push to me, that's key. That's key. The rap that they push to me, like when I turn on the radio, what they're pushing my ears.
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference. I don't even know if it's good or bad because, again, being as though I came from the era I came from, I'm from an era where it's more lyrical. Content was important to me. So if you're not something that's witty and make me think like, oh, damn, oh, you hear that? I'm not going to be too much intrigued into, it's not going to pull me in, you know what I'm saying? So, and if you're lyrical and you're able to make a song, because it's different between writing a rap and making a song. People don't.
Absolutely. So let me pause you real quick. I'm gonna pause you on that one. Let me ask you this. Let's tell the folks what era you actually came up in, because most of the people that's on my following probably don't know what era you came up in.
Right.
I know it, but you need to tell them. So tell them.
So as a kid, I came up in Run DMC, Eric B. and Rakim, EPM, you know what I'm saying, Big Daddy Kane. I came up in that era as a child.
Right.
As a young adult, and when I got fully into hip hop, like I said before, it was Wu-Tang, it was Helter Skelter, that whole dark method and era, and then of course later on, Biggie came out, and then NWA and that whole process.
Okay, so we're in the same crosshairs right now.
Right.
When it comes to hip hop. So like what made you like feel like you could go into that era and then like carve out your own, your own thing at that point? How did you feel that you could get to that point?
Well, it was easy because, at that time, hip hop talked about what was going on in their neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? So besides, with the method, with the Wu-Tang, because Wu-Tang was really kind of like they was deep,
From all barrels. They're from all barrels. It was
right.
And 17 barrels or whatever the fuck is going on in New York.
Yeah. And they talked. They had their own lingo. They had their own shebang, everything. You know what I mean? But outside of Wu-Tang, everybody was talking about what was going on in their neighborhood. So it was kind of easy as a rapper if you wanted to, be different or just do your thing. Talk about what you know, because you're writing a rap song. Of course, in the beginning when you're writing kind of emulating what you're hearing, whatever's. Like Run DMC had the My Adidas, so if you're a little kid, you're writing songs about whatever got
Yeah,
or
whatever you
whatever
see in front of you, right?
you want to have. But as
Mhm.
a adult and being as though you're rapping kind of sort of for your peers, you want to touch what your peers are experiencing as well as you're experiencing yourself.
Right.
So you talk about the things that you're doing, you talk about the things what's going on around your neighborhood, and that's how you kind of blossom, going from there.
Yeah. So like you've been a person that has been in the industry before, right? So like how did that feel to get into like get your foot in the door? Because like most people don't even get that foot in the door because at the end of the day, like it's so many independent artists doing things right now. How did it feel to get your foot in the door when you did?
It was a dream come true. It was a dream come true. Like I tell people all the time, being good is one thing. Being good at whatever you're doing is one thing.
Mhm.
But in the music industry, you have to. How can I say it? It's like it's all about who you know. I don't care how good you are.
Exactly.
It's like okay, let's take my hand for example. My hand would be the music industry.
Hmm.
Everything outside of my hand is trying to get in. The only way you can get in is if somebody in my hand reaches
No.
their out and pull you in. I don't
Right.
care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to be pulled in because it's, I don't want to get into that whole secret society thing, but it's like,
Not-
oh,
let's not do that part. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I got you.
Has to co-sign and bring you in. And I was fortunate enough. I was in a rap group called Shock Trauma. Uh,
Yeah.
and one of my good friends, his name is Mouse. He used to always be like, "Yo, my little cousin sing, but them little dudes, they always be trying to sound like Jodeci all the time." You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, "Oh, why?" You know what I mean? Well, I didn't know who his little cousin was. So
Hmm.
then we fast forward maybe a year or so later, he's like, "Yo, my little cousin them got like a little song on like a movie soundtrack, like a Whoopi Goldberg movie sound. That is song."
Yeah. Yeah, that one. That one.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, "Oh, wow." I said, "Which one your cousin?" And he was like, "Yo, honestly, I don't even know which one." Because he didn't know because at this
Wait.
out here, right?
Talk about. He didn't know which one he was.
Right, as far as his voice, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
couldn't tell which one. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
because the video didn't come out yet. So he was like, "Yo, I don't know which one is singing, but my cousin in the group." So
Hmm.
I'm like, so then, one day I'm chilling and I'm watching, Video Soul, something, whatever was on TV at the time.
Back in the day, yeah.
Right. And so I'm watching it and I'm like, the video coming on. So I'm like, let me see if I can see which one is his cousin. And as soon as I saw the one I thought it was his cousin, it was his cousin
Right,
because homeboy is really, he's very vibrant. He
right.
was like, it was three of us in the group, and he was the one that would jump off the stage into the crowd and
You was
just run out. He was always the one to go over the top.
right.
I saw the video. I said that one right there gotta be his.
That's got to be his cousin.
Yeah, you know what I mean, Cisco from Drew Hill. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So like you work with Cisco from Drew Hill, man, and like literally like the first time I met you, and I'm not gonna give it the backstory of how I met you, but like the first time I met you, they was like, yo, we got somebody famous in the building. I'm like, who? Like who is he? And
yeah.
and it triggered. I was like, wait, I know the verse, but
Mm.
tell everybody what the verse was or what the song was that you ended up working with them on.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I was rapping on Cisco's first single, a song called "Can I Live."
Can I live? Can I
Off
breathe? That's my joy right there. I'm sorry. Like literally, I love that joint because of you. Like seriously.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yo, like seriously, you coming through the joint, I'm like, yo, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Cisco got a solo joint, and I'm like, wait, who's this dude right here rapping? And
Yeah,
it's you. I'm like, I never would have met. I never would have thought in a million years that I would have meet you. But
yeah,
literally, we were just in the same circle, and I was like, oh, yo, that's the dude. That's him.
right,
That's
right.
here.
Yeah,
But,
man.
yo, like, how did that come about, though, man? How did you end up in that circle? Like, how did you get there? Like, did you have to jump through any hoops to get there?
Jump through hoops is not. I don't think there's a term that can say what I had to do to get.
Man. Oh,
But I put it in my book. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that later on. But
yeah.
a long, long crazy journey because, like I said, my homeboy, that's his cousin, so we're still rapping. Drew Hill is singing,
Yeah.
but as they continued to go, Tell Me went, and then they dropped the album.
Yeah.
And you got In My Bed, Never Make a Promise, and all this kind of stuff.
Ooh, that shit got hot. That shit got hot in Baltimore, didn't it, bro?
Yeah, boy, we still doing local talent shows.
You trying to figure out how the fuck you did. How do I get to the next level at this point, right?
Yeah, so I telling him like, yo, you need to holler at your cousin and tell him, help us out. Right. But my, he's a very powerful guy, so he's like, yo, we gonna do this shit on our own. We don't need his help. That's because Cisco is his little cousin, his younger cousin. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he didn't even really want to go at him and ask.
Right. So, because he was younger, of course.
Right. Yeah. Because, long story. It's a long story, and again, it's all in my book. I detail everything in the book. But long story short, we wind up meeting Cisco through the cousin.
Right.
And all right, let me fast forward to the Can I Live part because
I need to get to Can I Live because I was like, that's how I know you. I was like, I remember seeing the guy saying, doing his thing on fucking Can I Live. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right, but
give me to that part. We'll talk about the other part.
Yeah, just to get a disclaimer, it was so much I had to go through to get to. You wouldn't even imagine the things I had to go through to get to Can I Live. Anyway.
But you wrote a book about it, though, right?
I wrote a book about it.
We'll talk about that later on in the show.
Right.
We'll talk about it on the show.
So one day I'm in LA, and we're living in this big giant mansion because Cisco was working on this album at the time. Can I Live was already finished. Teddy Riley produced it, right? So Teddy Riley.
Yep. 2 down. Let's go.
Yes, sir. And so Teddy Riley was already rapping on the song. Cisco already sung the song. Me and my group were already on a song on an album called Off the Corner.
Yeah.
The album was done, completed. One day, Cisco comes up to me and my group members and comes to me and say, yo, I got some good news for you. I'm like, for me or the crew? He was like, no, for you. He said, they want you on Can I Live? So I'm like, I was so confused because, like I told you, the song was finished. Teddy was singing it. Teddy Riley was rapping where you hear me rapping it right now.
Right.
Done. So I'm like, they want me on Can I Live? Like, okay, so if they want me to do it, I'm going to do it. I ain't going to turn it down, of course. So he gave me the CD with the instrumental. I went back to my room and I wrote my verse and, had my verse done. And then I goes to the studio maybe a couple of days later and Teddy Riley flies in town and we recorded.
Yeah.
That was a whole situation with him in that studio too. It was crazy.
Hey, listen. I know how Teddy gets down, so like, don't.
Yeah.
Go ahead, spill it.
It's in the book.
Yeah, it's in the book.
Right. Long story short, because it's a long story. Teddy Riley, after I laid my verse, what people don't know is when you do a song, right? You don't know how the song is going to come out. Yeah. Like you can lay down, and they might just keep 4 of your bars. They might take it completely off the song. They might just keep your ad libs. It like that, right? So once I laid my verse down, I didn't know if I was going to continue to be on the song or was Teddy Riley on the song. Because remember, I told you Teddy Riley was rapping on the first.
Right.
It was a lot of back and forth, like, we going with Teddy Riley, or we going with Cooley, or we going to Teddy Riley, we going with Cooley. I had no idea if I was going to make the actual song. Until one day we was in Miami about to shoot the video, we're in a club, and the song come on. So I'm like, okay, playing. So I'm like, how the breakdown come up with a rap coming up. I'm like, who am I going to hear? Am I going to hear my voice or am I hear Teddy Riley's voice?
Teddy Riley, right.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So my heart is like, boom, 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 boom. I'm change my life if I'm on this song because he's just coming off the success of the Thong Song album.
Exactly.
Right.
That was the time. He had just came off a Thong Song, like literally. So
exactly.
Like, if I do a pop, it's going to be like, yo, if I'm on there, I'm on.
It's over. You know what I'm saying? I can't lose.
Yeah.
And on behold, I'm in the club, and then when that break came in, I heard my voice. I'm like, thank God.
All right.
They did take me off the song, So
right.
They did do me a little dirty. They did give me my feature, and again, that's
exactly. That's the part.
the politics of it, because I was signed to RCA Records,
Mm-hmm.
just signed to Def Jam.
Right. So it was like a collaboration, but it didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy, and again, it's detailed in the book why they didn't, because they on the song is Cisco featuring the Dragon family.
Yeah, but you're not
who
a
the
part
fuck
of
is
the Dragon. You're not a part of the Dragon family at all.
well, I was in the Dragon family because it was my group, and it was Cisco had a girl group.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I was in the Dragon family, but I'm trying to figure out why they saying Cisco featuring the Dragon family. I'm the one rapping on the shit. Why you ain't saying Cisco featuring Cooley High?
Why? Right. Exactly.
It was the politics behind it,
Okay.
And again, it's in the book, but I got the feature, shot my part in the video, and then touring all over the world and all that kind of stuff went from there.
So let me ask you this. Outside of that politics part of it, I know it was a little hard to actually get into it, because like as a person that listens to music, like I listen to music on like 7 levels different than anybody else, right? So like when I hear something, I'm like, yo, that shit popped. When it popped for you, like, did you feel like it was gonna be like something that was gonna change the way that you saw everything when you did music, or what?
No, I mean, at the time, I was just thinking, I was just trying to get it. I'm thinking like this is the start of my career. I'm out to blow. You know what I'm saying? Like the first, after I did the song, we shot the video. The very first show I did was a show in London called Top of the Pops with Cisco. There's a huge show in London. Yeah. So they flew me out to London. I did that, and right after I did that show, the second show I ever performed with Cisco ever was the BET Awards.
Yeah, the BET Awards. I remember that one.
Yeah, it was the first one. First annual BET Awards. So everything was so huge at the time. Mm-hmm. I'm just floating on clouds, and I say at the same time I was in a group. We was already signed. We had signed like a $2 million record deal. I was working on that album. I'm touring with Cisco. I'm just thinking like, this is it. This is what I've been working for all my life. You know what I'm saying? It's on and popping now. So I was just in grind mode. Everything was happening so fast. Right. Like my wife, me and my wife, we have a trip coming up soon that we're going somewhere. I don't want to say where, but I've been there before, right? Mm-hmm. So what I was telling her was like, I've been there, but I wasn't there. She was like, what you mean? I was like, because a lot of times when you go in these towns and you do these shows, you're there, you do the show, and you're gone.
You're not there.
Right. So it's like you don't even feel that you were there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
When we was on tour with the Backstreet Boys, sometimes they said Janet Jackson used to do this a lot. If you're not careful, you'll yell out the wrong city to the whole Coliseum.
Exactly.
And what we used to perform in like the Coliseum. So what used to keep us on point, we would always look at the banners. That's you got
to see the banners coming down. Yeah.
Right, and we see some Lakers banners. We know we're in LA. We wherever we at, we always used to look at the banners. So a lot of times,
that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I never would have thought that would be the way that you had to figure out where you were. But like seriously, like I have so many questions, but like I really want to get into the point of like what did you like think that was gonna change at the end of the day for you? Like, because you're from Baltimore, right? Where I'm at right now. I'm in Baltimore, you're in Baltimore, but like you're from here, right? Are you born and raised here?
Yep. Born with West Baltimore, yeah.
West Baltimore, right? So like literally the thing that like when something like that happens to you, you're overseas, you're getting passport stamps already, and you're young. How does that affect how you move in life at that point? How did it affect the way you moved from there?
Well, I'll say this: it was quick, right? So
it was
yeah. No. So, enhance your question, I would say, how do you deal with it when it's over?
Oh, yeah. Oh, damn. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, you go ahead and answer that question that way. Go ahead and answer the question.
Because while it's happening, you're living a life. I mean, you're literally living your dreams. You know what I'm saying? You got money that you never thought you'd ever have. Mm-hmm. A lot of times you don't even have to spend your money because people just give you things. You know what I'm saying? Whenever we went to restaurants, we didn't Hey, you know, it was Cisco. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We go in stores. People want you to wear their clothes because they figure you're on stage. You know, you're shooting videos. They want that almost like you're like modeling their clothes. So a
Yeah,
lot of people
absolutely.
sponsor and they give you stuff. So a lot of times you didn't even have to spend your own money for anything. You know, so it was like you. I was literally living a dream. My dreams were coming true. But then when 9/11 happened,
Oh,
uh,
oh yeah.
actually on tour, I was in Canada when it actually happened.
Oh,
But RCA dropped their black division.
yeah,
Dropped off the
yeah,
whole.
yeah,
Only people that was on there at the time was my group. Now, my name of my group was called the Associates. SWV and Tyrese. Everybody else probably knew about. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But when they did that, BMG which was the parent company. They picked up Tyrese and SWV because they were still high. You know, big group. You know,
They
a
left
big.
y'all hanging. They left y'all hanging.
But being as though my group didn't have a name, we got dropped.
Mm.
And so once we got dropped, and then Cisco was going through some technicalities with his record label and things, a whole lot of mess that he had going on.
Was that Def Jam Soul? Was that
Things
Def,
that like
was that Def Jam Soul that he was dealing with at that
yeah,
time? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So he was going through some static over there, and so when you cut the head off, the body falls, and
Yeah, absolutely.
head, and me and my group was the body. You know, so once he got into the situation he got into, it fell on us as well. And then so the whole thing was, it's almost like, I hate to use this analogy, almost like being a dope fiend, because you done got a taste of this dope. You know what I'm saying? And now somebody just snatching it from you, like, oh, it's gone. Like, it's hell no.
I need to find it. I need to find it again. Yeah.
I gotta get it again.
Yeah.
And so that was my whole pursuit after, because all of this happened in the year 2001. And it started in 2001 and it ended in 2000.
2001. Yeah, yeah. It was such a like a wave of fucking just emotional distraught from a country standpoint and from a music standpoint, because like literally everything fucking stopped on that day. So like no sales were happening, no deals were happening. So like what happened after that, bro? Like because like I mean I'm almost feeling like the magic carpet was ripped from under you, and now you're like, what the fuck am I gonna do now? Right?
What the fuck am I gonna do now? Yeah, man. I tell you, man. To be honest with you, in my mind it was like there's no turning back.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't had a taste of that life now, and that's what people don't understand. When you see these artists, like you see actors and artists that had a taste of that life, and then, especially you see it all the time in child actors and stuff.
Yeah.
You see them on and they just be struggling because they had a taste of that life. And you mean to tell me after you taste that life, man, you telling me I got to go back into the work field? Oh, hell
no.
And people, if you're not strong enough, you'll do almost anything to keep that wave going. And I fell in that boat to a certain extent. Like when I got off a tour, I was on tour with the Backstreet Boys. Let's say if I came home, the tour was ended in Vegas. Me and my group, we didn't want to come back to Baltimore.
Right.
So, they was going to fly us back to Baltimore. We said, no, we'd rather ride the bus. We wanted anything just to not, just to prolong the reality of what was going on. So we rode the tour bus from Vegas all the way to Baltimore, 3 or 4 days just to prolong it. And let's get home. If I got to Baltimore on a Monday, on Tuesday, I was doing illegal things to get money because I didn't want to go back to regular life. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People in the city knew me. My face was familiar. Where am I going to go work at? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You can't fuck around and end up at Burger King and some shit, and you've been on the fucking platinum fucking, like, looking at the plaque in the background right now. That's a platinum record right there. That's a platinum record. Like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna fucking work at Burger King and I have a platinum record. There's no way in hell you're gonna do me down like that.
Yeah. So I'm going to get another record deal, but in the meantime, I'm going to get this money the best way I can, and the only way I knew how to do it at that time was to get into illegal activities.
Yeah, no. So that doesn't even need to be said, bro. But like my thing is, I really want to keep the mindset of you. How did you progress from where you were then to where you are now? Like, because that's a long time between 2001 to now.
Right.
21 years, bro. You like literally at this point you have eclipsed certain things in your life that like you really have to be able to grow from. So like I think that's the reason that the Quiet Storm is here, is to be able to talk to people like you to understand where your thought process was, and
Right.
also understand where you went, because like there's so many things that can happen. Like
Yeah.
you said, you were already going back into the activities that we can't name.
Right.
And you were like, okay, listen, how do I get the next high to get back to where I was, right?
Right.
So how did you feel like you got to that point? Because like me knowing you as a person, you're the most humble dude I've ever met. I've never seen anybody more humble than you. Like, and like as a person, like you are a great dude. So like how did you deal with that? Like, because I know that's tough, because mind you, I've never been famous. I probably won't be famous after this either, but I'm just saying what happens is you get a taste of that shit and you're like, okay, what the fuck do I do to get back to it?
Exactly.
What were you willing to give to get back to it is the question.
So I gave everything except my soul. You know,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
did. I
we gotta keep that. We gotta keep that.
yeah, I wronged a lot of people. You know, I did a
Mhm.
lot of dirty. Not intentionally, because that's what people don't understand. When you're an artist, you move with blinders on, so you don't intentionally hurt people, but your total focus is on getting back to where you were, or getting some type of goal accomplished. So everything outside of that,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter. You know, all my childhood friends, they became distant, because if you didn't have anything to do with music and what I was trying to do, I couldn't even see you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It
Messed
was
up.
warriors. That was it. That's it.
Yeah. My son's my son mother, you know, messed up relationships with that. I did a lot of things the wrong way, and what my turning point was, I crashed and burned, literally. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? I crashed and burned. I was homeless. I was sleeping on my mother's couch, grown man, you know, no car, no job, just selling a little bit of this, a little bit of that, just to keep some pocket change in my pocket.
Mhm.
Lost all my, again, all this is in the book, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
But
this,
we'll get to the book in like 10 minutes. We'll get to
yeah,
the book in like 10 minutes.
yeah, but just to get to the meat and potatoes, I literally had to crash and burn. I hit rock bottom. Like, I almost died. You know what I mean? Because of I was suffering from depression. I didn't know it back then. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So that part right there, you said you were suffering from depression. We don't really, in the black community, we have a hard time understanding where the fucking depression comes from and where the mental health problems come from, because we don't know how to diagnose it, because it's always been saying that we've always had the problem. So
Right.
what you saying that right now, bro, that means a lot to me. And like, I am a mental health advocate, bro. Like, literally, I've seen I've seen it personally myself, and now that you're telling me that, like, I'm quite sure we've all experienced it, but we don't know what the hell to do with it. So, like, that was good, man. Like, I appreciate you doing that. But go ahead, tell me the rest of it, because like the way this is flowing, like I don't even need to talk no more until you finish, man. Go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, I crashed and burned. Didn't have nowhere to go. All my avenues, I burned every bridge that I could possibly burn. You know, and I moved to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta just to get away, to try to, get around the people, because, it was nothing here. I tapped out in Baltimore. Cisco
Right,
was the top as you're going to go in
right.
Baltimore musically, that can help you. So I
Mm-hmm.
figured I had to be in the places where other people were, where I could kind of network and get things popping. Moved to Atlanta for about 5 or 6 months, and my kid's mother, they called me. They kept saying. See, what I did was I kind of snuck and moved. I told them I was going down there for a few weeks, to try to get something going, but I was going down there to stay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But my kids, I didn't have my baby son at the time, but I
right.
had my two boys. And that was the only thing I, quote unquote, got right. didn't get their mothers right. You know what I'm saying? Didn't get the relationship right.
The boys were good. Yeah.
That was they were my rock outside of God, of course. Of course, God is, number one.
Absolutely.
But that was my grounding. Nothing. I never put anything in front of those two. So when I went to Atlanta, my son's mother, they was friends. Because their kids were brothers. So they were like, "Hey, how long you gonna be down there? You've been down there for a while. What you doing?"
Right. What you doing with your life at this point, bro? Right.
So they called on like, you know what? I think this nigga trying to move down there. So they was like, you know what? Since you want to do that, they cut me completely off.
From the
And
kid.
my kids, that was my fuel. And that was my fuel to keep going. So once they stopped answering the phone for me, they was like, we're done with you. If you're going to Atlanta to do this music thing, go in and do. We wish you the best. Just leave us alone. And I couldn't cut my kids off. I couldn't do the Quincy Jones. I heard Quincy Jones say one time he was willing to cut anything off, and a lot of artists do. They'll be the parent to send the checks every 2 weeks or whatever, and they see them kids whenever they see them.
Right, exactly.
And so it forced me to move back to Baltimore. And so once I came back to Baltimore, I was like, the whole drug gang, I couldn't do that no more. I was like, you know what, I got to get my life together and try to move forward. And that's when I kind of gradually got myself into the work field, started working at little call centers and so forth. And before you know it, I landed a spot actually where I'm at right now.
Right. All right. So let's fast forward. Now we're adult Dwayne versus really high at this point, because you still had some cuts out there that you were still putting out. Because I remember a couple of joints that we used to play on the Wild Out Radio show back in the day. Like literally, I would reach out to you like, "Yo, you got a cut for me?" You like, "Yeah, I got something for you right there." Like literally, like I appreciate you, and I really think that you deserve your flowers, man, because the game doesn't love you until it's over, right?
Right.
So I would say that you have something else that you've done as a man. You've went out and put yourself out there on paper. You know what I mean?
Right.
Put yourself on paper, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
Like me being a person that likes to write, I like to write a lot of poems and shit. I like to write short stories, but you actually wrote a book. So tell the people about your book, man. Like I don't usually like to plug motherfucking shit, but that's your shit. So let's go ahead and do that.
Cool.
What's your book, man? Go ahead.
All right. So the name of my book is called Almost Famous. And
so real quick, without giving the premise away of the stories, tell us what it is.
Okay, Almost as Famous is my story from beginning to end. End is, I don't like to use the word end. But,
yeah, it's still progressing.
Yeah, progressing.
We're still living. We're still living. We're still living, bro. We're still living. Go ahead.
It's it pretty much details, my childhood, my upbringing, the things that a lot of mistakes, some do rights, a lot of mistakes, and it's a brutally honest book. When I say brutally honest, it's brutally honest. Like, I have a lot of people upset with me about this book, but the thing is that when you tell your truth, no one lives in this world alone.
Exactly.
You're attached to somebody. So if I'm telling a story, I wasn't moving by myself. I'm not.
It's a whole bunch of moving parts. Yeah.
I'm not Tom Hanks. This is not Castaway. Whatever that movie was.
Wilson's not here. It's just us. It's
not just that. Yeah. So people were tied into my story. So I did my best to protect certain situations and identities, but I still had to tell my truth. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, sometimes when you tell your truth, it ruffles a lot of feathers. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't come from a place of I'm getting somebody or tell somebody's business. It was all pertaining to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the book is. It's telling my story from beginning to where I decided to start, all the ups and downs in my life, all the mistakes I made, and how I winded up to where I am right now.
So here's my thing. I really feel it because I haven't read the book yet, but I already kind of have an idea of what the package is gonna be. But like my thing is for me as a person that is I'm a person of culture. I like to grab things from the culture, right? Like I've been in Baltimore for 12 years, right? You and Drew Hill are the only things I know about Baltimore for real.
Okay.
And like so, like literally, like to hear you say that makes me dial things back a little bit and understand that there are certain parts of us that we need to kind of understand that will not always be 100% with each other. Because if I tell my truth, I have to tell some of your truth.
Exactly.
But don't be mad at me when I tell the truth because it's
Right.
the truth. It's not. I'm not fabricating anything. I'm
Right.
not making up anything at any point. I need you to understand that one, I'm telling this from the way I saw it. Our
Yep.
vision is going to be different, regardless. As human beings, that's what happens, right?
Right.
So when you started to tell your story, you said you probably ruffled some feathers and everything like that. How did you feel about that part of it? Because like being almost famous, like being at the ceiling, like you were at the ceiling, bro. You were at the ceiling. Like, how did you feel now that you had to regroup and like do some other shit? Like, how did you feel about that? Like, did you feel like jaded, or did you feel like you like you failed, or did you feel like you had to rebuild who you were?
Well, that's a good question. I felt like it was times where, you get frustrated, you're trying to get it going. But I always shifted my purpose. Like I started off as a rapper,
Mm-hmm.
rap. When I seen that was kind of, the light was dwindling on that, I went into a songwriting mode. So I started
Yeah.
writing R&B songs, started writing country songs, pop songs. I'm doing all
Yeah.
this writing
Yeah.
things, trying to place a song on albums. When that was kind of dwindling down, I started doing producing, not making the beat, but just putting the songs together.
Right.
You know, when that was starting to dwindle, I would start writing. I started looking up screenplays, how to write a screenplay. Then that's
Mm-hmm.
what actually led me into to write the book. Because what happened was I had a guy. His name was Corey Grant. He's a big up and coming.
Yeah, I heard the name. I heard the name before. I heard the name before.
Yeah, up and coming director out in L.A. right now. He used to
Yeah.
listen to songs and he used to be like, "Yo, Cooley, you should write a book. These songs are so detailed." Because I would write a song about my son. You
Yeah.
know,
I remember when you talk about your son. I remember that
yeah,
song
songs are
because
all
I
about my son.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
what was the title of it?
it's called Always.
Always, yes.
Featuring
Because that was the one you sent to us. Yes.
Yep,
Oh,
yep, and there was a video for it, and that guy Corey Grant actually shot that video.
he did. He did. I remember now that I was like, wait, I know the fucking name. That's why I know the name because I remember you. Yeah, always was
Yeah, and so he's the what I would do was I'm very you know me, I'm very quiet and reserved,
yeah,
but
always.
yeah, but when it comes to music, I'm loud. And what I mean by loud is like my exes, my girlfriends or whatever, they used to always say, if I don't know, if I want to ever know what's on your mind, I go listen to your music. Because I tell myself all the time in I was so brutally honest.
Every time, bro.
Yeah. So I would, write these songs about relationships and I wouldn't cut corners.
Right.
Straightforward. And so it'd be clear as day what I'm talking about. So long story short, basically what I say that to say, when I was writing all these songs about situations and drama about being able to see my son, the guy Corey Grant was like, "Yo, these songs are very detailed and the lyrics. You should look into writing a book." And I just held on to that thought, and then years later it came about. But Corey Grant is one of the main reasons why I wrote this book.
Hey, so we gotta. So at this point, what I'm saying is, we probably gotta get you and Corey on the fucking joint at this point.
Yeah,
like
that'll be.
At the end of the day, like I really want to talk to Corey and see what he saw. But at the end of the day, like literally, like man, I remember the song like it was yesterday because I could see everything you were talking about, but I wasn't looking for me. I was looking for you.
Right.
Because I remember always like always was this joint. I was like, yo, that's the one.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, yo, like literally, like yeah, I felt like I was walking through your footsteps at that point, and like like the group chat is going a little crazy right now. They say, Mr. Jones, you better say that. It's all good. Sometimes the truth in these times is crumbling. Crippling. I'm sorry, crippling versus respect. Everyone loves a lie. It's easy to handle. So yeah, but my thing is this, man. Like we are a community of just being here for each other, man. Like I always appreciate you, man. Like I love you like you're my brother, right? You
Thanks, bro.
you're the dude. Like you've never given me any trouble. You've never been a dude that's outside of your box at this point. And I never realized how humble you were until I was like, wait, this thing got a fucking platinum record on this fucking wall. You know what I mean? And like for you to be as contained as you are, I love that fact about you, right? And like, dude, I feel like I'm out here fanning out and shit, but like, I mean, literally, bro, like you are a legend. All right, you know what I mean?
Appreciate
And like really, I want everybody to be able to go ahead and listen to your story and read your story. So what I did was I ended up giving my producer. Hopefully, he sees it at some point. He sees where he can put your link tree up at some point where all your information is. But like literally, man, like I wanted to have this conversation with you because like I've known you outside of the business and then just talking to you as a person. Like you've always been a dude that's been level, right? And I was trying to figure out how the hell do I get to that point of levelness where like nothing fucking phases me. Like literally nothing phases you in my eyes at this point. I can't tell what's going on below the surface, but like looking at you and talking to you, like yo, bro, nothing phases you. Like you're one of the dudes that I've known for what probably like 10 plus years.
Yeah, 10 plus years. Yeah.
Yeah. So like when I started the Wild Out Radio show back in the day, he would send me tracks. Like I'm like yo, he like let's get it popping. I'm like yo, we trying to get Baltimore on the map. This is pre-podcast time, guys. Pre-podcast time. So like to have this man on my show right now, I don't know what the hell's going on here. I can't see any of this. I can't see it. I don't know why my producers keep putting that shit up there. But anyway, what I'm saying to you is, my brother, you are a commodity as a man, as a human being, as an artist, as an author. You are the person that I need everybody to know how to get in contact with, especially if we want to talk about Baltimore, because you're going to give an aspect of Baltimore that most people won't see, right? And I think that the fact that you're talking to me, I'm from Virginia. You know that, right? I'm from Virginia, but being here, you showed me what Baltimore was. Drew Hill showed me what Baltimore was. Everybody else showed me what Baltimore was, but the most humble part of it was you. All right. And that's why I wanted to bring you on. And like I gotta say that we're probably gonna have a second segment again, probably like maybe in a couple of weeks or so. But we gotta talk about some other shit that probably most people haven't gotten to until they get to the book. So Linktree, Cooley Hot, right there at the bottom. Y'all see it. That's how you find the book. That's how you find out about my man, right? Like I said, like he is a gem of a person. Like if you met him in person, you would have never thought he was on a fucking song at all. Like when I first met him, I was like, yo, you gotta be kidding. This dude on the song, this dude right here. But he was so humble, man. Like, and so with that being the press of it, I got about 5 minutes or whatever until the end of the show. But hey, Cooley Hot, man, listen, bro, you are a godsend, bro. I love you. I appreciate you, man. And as always, yo, listen. And anytime you want to come on my platform, man, you can. Like, if you want to come and do your own platform, do your thing, man. I got you. I got a platform for you. But what I want to say to you is, I appreciate you, and I appreciate, the family that we become over the years, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So, Like, is there anything else you want to say to the people while you're out here, man? Like, while you're still on here?
I just want to thank you and Teflon, man, for having me on your show, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. And all the people out there that's listening or will listening later on, of course, when it's out and streaming somewhere. I appreciate you tuning in, checking out my man Q and Teflon, man. Yeah, and everybody be easy. Another thing about the book is that of course, everybody, you want to sell your book, to do well, but more importantly, I wanted my book to be a situation where as though I would never die. My body one day will die,
Yes.
as my flesh will die, but my book will live on forever, and then my kids will actually have a blueprint and know me from beginning to the end. Because thanks to the internet, no one ever has to die. You can shoot a video right now and talk to yourself when you're 80.
Absolutely. So,
Everybody,
you got it. Go ahead, finish, bro. No bad.
yeah, that's pretty much everybody live forever because you can. You can live forever through art and through the internet.
So
yeah.
with that being said, man, like you are my dude, man. Like, listen, again, I'm gonna have you on here again, and we're gonna have probably a whole different conversation about some other shit. But like, literally, man, thank you for being my first guest on
Yes, sir.
Fire Storm, man. Like, seriously, like this is my heart right here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw how pumped I was when you came on the screen, bro.
Right.
Like, literally, I feel like that this is my calling, and we've all been given a calling. I'm a photographer, I'm a writer, I'm a poet. I do all that shit too. But this right here feels right to me because I get to be able to tell other people's stories. So I definitely appreciate you, my brother.
Yes,
and
sir.
If you ever need me for anything, man, just reach out to me, bro. And I'm only call away. But this has been the Quiet Story with Mr. Q. So, ladies and gentlemen, I definitely appreciate you guys joining us. But again, please join in next week. We'll be back with a new guest. But again, Mr. Cool Hal will be back again because that's my brother. That's
Yes,
my
sir.
brother. Like, he ain't got the same blood as me, but that's my brother. All right. I love this dude, man. Like, I vouch for this dude forever. Like hey, matter of fact, give me one of your songs to listen to real quick, cuz.
Listen to Always featuring Scola.
Yeah, Scola and Always in Scola. Yo, listen, first of all, I got that one. Because the funny part was I was just listening to some shit on my YouTube the other day. And then when your songs popped up, I was like, oh shit. I was like, he might be on my show. I was pumped. Yo, like literally. I had goosebumps. And like you and Scola, man, like seriously, man, y'all are icons, man. And again, in this small world that we live in, man, we gotta cherish the people that we have going on, right? So I appreciate you, my brother. And again, this has been the Quiet Storm with Mr. Q and my boy Cooling Howell here tonight with me tonight. And also, this has been a production of Our Legacy Media. If you can see the shirt, you know what I mean? We about to do the things going on. But if anything else has happened, yo, listen, y'all can check us out on the Facebook group, on my IG page. But like at the end of the day, man, like feed into other people, man. Like you can't be a person that's gonna be selfish. You can't be a person that's not humble. Because if you're not humble, how can you have any respect for anybody else, right?
Right about that. You got it.
So my brother, hey, I'll see you in probably about let me see. I want to say August.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a different vibe, but it's gonna be something still tied into yours. But we're gonna do a different vibe. But I'll see you in August. Yeah.
Just let me know when I'm there, man. You know it.
Hey man, love you, brother. Appreciate you.
Y'all take care.
All right, man. Bless up. Yeah, we out of here. All right, man. We about to get out of here for the night. Again, this is the Quiet Storm, Mr. Q. I'll see y'all on the next side. Peace.
What's up?
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.